it's the end of the month, okay? So have you been able to implement all those changes that from the beginning of the year, January 2019, up to April today, 2019? Are you worried, stressed out that you haven't been able to meet up with everything? Okay, hey, don't stress out about it. Okay, don't stress yourself. There are some things that you cannot change. Okay, no matter how stressful you can't change it, you can't change it. But hey, don't worry, you got enough time ahead of you to implement those changes. Okay, you still got the month of May way up to December to implement all those fantastic, amazing changes that you want to implement in your life. Okay, so don't be mad, you still got time. But hey, make hands while the sun shines. So there are two types of women in our society today. Okay, the intellectual woman and the just the regular woman. Okay, a woman that if you get married to, they're gonna bring so many changes into your life. Okay, positive change. They're just the regular woman. Okay, just the regular woman. They don't have no contribution or nothing. Okay, no changes to make into your life. All they do is just dip in, out, dip in, out, dip in, out. That's all they do. What kind of changes are you bringing into your home? Okay, so let's talk the intellectual woman. That kind of woman that will sit and advise you on certain things. Okay, even though there are some men that will take it and some men that won't take it. But most times the reason why some men will take it is because of their pride, which is understandable. Okay, men do have that kind of pride. Also, men do have that kind of pride. Okay, let's say for example, okay, you go through a divorce as a man or as a woman. Before you want to go through a divorce, before you sit and be like, hey, I want a divorce, don't just jump up and just be like, hey, I want a divorce. That is something that you have to think thoroughly about it, because after divorce, or with divorce comes so many changes. Okay, I don't know why it's so easy. It's so easy for people to just go to the courthouse and just sign some papers and you're married. Okay, it don't cost that much. Why is it that it don't cost that much to get married, but it costs so much for you to have a divorce? Why is it that we cannot? I'm not gonna go into that, but let's just talk. Okay, so just a regular woman. Okay, why would you be that kind of woman that is married to a man? Okay, let's say for example that man just got divorced. Okay, that man had kids or have a child somewhere else, and you coming into this man's life with your own kids. Okay, what on earth will make you as a woman to advise to take care of his kids like he should, or not to take care of his kids the way he's taking care of your kids? So for example, he buys your kids toy, feed them, do everything. So why do you have a problem with that man taking care of his own kids? Just a regular woman thinking. Okay, it becomes so frustrating if you that woman, you don't have something doing. Because if you really do have something doing, something productive, something that you're bringing in income, okay, then it's going to create that balance. But like I said, before you think about going into divorce, that is something that you need to think thoroughly about it. It's not just something that you just wake up in the morning and be like, hey, come on, yeah, I'm ready for a divorce, I want to get a divorce. No, sit thoroughly. Okay, as a man, I don't know, but I don't think people just wake up in the morning and just be like, hey, I want to have a divorce. Okay, and when the marriage broke, okay, people are fond of like blaming each other, like, hey, it's your fault, this didn't work out. No, it takes two, okay, for that separation or that divorce to happen. Okay, it takes two people. Each and every individual has to be responsible for their own actions. So let's go back before sidetrack. If you're living with this man, okay, and you try to prevent this man from taking care of his children, hey, look at it this way. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is perfect in this life. If you go and do that to your fellow woman, what happens if the same thing happened to you tomorrow? What if the same thing were to happen to you tomorrow, okay? That man walk away. Are you going to have a problem with that man not taking care of your kids? Like the saying goes, do to others what you want them to do to you, okay? If you have an intellectual woman, that woman will sit down and advise you. Let's say, for example, okay, you lose your job. That is something understandable. It takes a lot. it takes two reasonable people, okay, or two reasonable individuals to co-parent, okay. It really does take that. If not, sometimes it can be a drain, okay. If the other person is just childish and selfish and everything, just name it, okay. Let's say, for example, you are a woman, okay, paying child support, or the man paying child support. Say you lose your job, or the man loses his job, okay, and fails to communicate that information to the next partner, to the ex-partner, like, hey, look, I've been trying to like meet up with my responsibility and everything, but lately I just lose my job and I'm not able to do those things that I used to do. Only a selfish man or a selfish woman will argue over something like that, because it's very natural, it's very common for people to lose their job due to circumstances beyond their control, okay. So if something like that happens and you don't communicate it to the partner, okay, especially if that partner never, or the ex-partner never calls you about your child support being late or whatever, they never, when I say never, the call has to be like about the kids, or like the kids talking to the ex-partner or whatever. If they hardly called you on the phone to be like, hey, when are you gonna pay your child support? Have you paid your child support? Blah blah blah, all that nonsense. Or why are you late on your child support? If they don't do that, they're more matured than you. If they're matured enough to know that they don't have to do that, they don't have to go through all that to do that, okay? You should be sensible enough to understand, like, okay, this person don't want all that drama. This person don't want all that trouble. I know sometimes it's very hard, okay? Sometimes it's very hard when you go through divorce. Like, hey, as a man or as a woman, women too do pay child support, like I said. Being able to split your income almost into two, okay, to take care of both families. But like I said, those are things that you need to put into consideration before you be like, hey, I want to get a divorce. I know that there are some marriages that are so tough that the two individuals might decide like, hey, let's just go our separate way peacefully, okay. You know, it's just part of life. But if you decide to go your separate way just peacefully, okay, I don't see any reason why there should be disagreement. And the way it works, okay, you can decide to go your separate way, get a divorce, and you both are responsible. Why would you want to be like, hey, the court should be responsible for this, for deciding what amount of child support that you pay? You both can decide as two mature individuals to come up with like a written something, okay, to be like, okay, since this didn't work out, you're gonna help this person in this way or in that way. But if one person is mature enough to come up with an idea like that, and the other person isn't having it, the other person don't even want to have it, then the court steps in now when you get a divorce. How are you going to sit and blame that individual that took out their time and be like, hey, just write out something that we can show to the court, like, okay, you're going to pay this amount. That's going to be something that both parties accept to or agree to, instead of having the court implement that. You both can come up with something reasonable, like, hey, this other person, you got this family to take care of. Though they are your step kids, those are still children, okay? And you got this other family to take care of. Like, it's more understandable. That's too much weight. Okay, let's come up with something that will be reasonable for us, okay, for both individuals. Let's put it that way. But if the other person even want to listen or nothing, then it becomes a problem, okay? So you are home with a woman that don't want you to pay child support, don't encourage you to take care of your kids and everything. The big boy or the big man comes in when you're capable of taking care of the responsibility that you left behind. That's when a woman who is an intellectual will reason like, okay, if you are capable of taking care of the responsibility that you left behind, then yeah, you are man enough to take care of me as a woman and my children. But if you're that kind of a woman that will encourage a man not to take care of his children that he left behind, rather you sit and you encourage that man not to take care of his responsibility, then there's a problem right there. You're not fitting in. You're just any regular kind of woman that just want what they want, okay? What happens tomorrow? Not, like I said, nothing is permanent. Nothing lasts forever. What happens if something goes wrong along the line? Nobody is praying for anything negative to happen, okay? So what happens if something negative goes on along the line, something goes wrong along the line? This man has failed, or this woman has failed in their position to take care of what the responsibility they left behind. What makes you so sure, 100% sure, that when he moves to the next person, he's going to look back and take care of your own responsibility when you fail to encourage him to take care of the responsibility that he left behind? Some of us women are the height of our own problems. We are the height of our own problems. And when this happens, we start looking for who to blame. How you do this, how you do this, how you do this. Take responsibility for your actions, okay? Like, you can be a very, very selfish partner if you go and refuse your ex not to see his kids. It is very, very selfish. But if you've been that kind of person, I know a lot of women do stuff like that, where when something happens, you're going to use your child against that man. And there are times when the men too will use excuses, they'll use that child against you. Like I said, I'm talking on both ways. But if you do something like that, it's very, very bad. When I say very bad, very, very bad. But if you've been that person that have allowed your child to spend, like, let's say, hey, their birthday they spend with that man, hey, Christmas they spend with the man or the woman, New Year and everything, like almost all of the holidays, okay? And that man still feel like, hey, I need to come up with something else just to get back at that person. Then it becomes a problem. If you're genuine and do things the right way, okay, you get positive karma. If you want to sit and do stuff just so you can get back at other people, then you call yourself karma. You're calling bad karma on yourself. And when it hits, do not blame another person for your mistake, for your failure, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So let's go back. If you're going to be that man that want to support that man, like, hey, let's go to court so you can get this, so you can get that. Meanwhile, the money the man is using to pay a lawyer just to come say, hey, split days that you have to take care of your kids, and this person have to take care of their kids. Hey, let's split this amount and be like this, blah, blah. No, those are things that you need to do for yourself. That $2,000 or that $3,000 that you're paying for that lawyer just to come sit on one seat and just tell you what to do, those are things that a reasonable individual or two reasonable individuals can sit down and decide on that. And that $3,000 or $2,000 that you want to take to go pay a lawyer, you can use that to do something productive with your family. Stop being stupid, stop being dumb. And if that woman is just a regular woman that's going to encourage you to do stuff like that, I understand, like I said, some people can be really, really crazy, okay, when it comes to like this co-parenting. Some people can be really, really crazy. But if you're dealing with somebody that is so loyal and somebody that will do stuff, but like I said, if you with somebody that is loyal, somebody that will let you see your kids and do stuff, let you do stuff with your kids, and your girlfriend or your wife in the house can really see that, and she don't sit and see around like you, the ex-partner, calling and bugging him and doing all that stuff. No, it's time for you to get that person, that man or whatever, sit down on his ass and you advise that man, look, this woman don't call here harassing me, this woman don't call here harassing you, I don't have to deal with baby mama dramas or baby daddy dramas. Give that woman a break. That is how women should think, okay? That is how women should think. That other woman, the ex or the new partner, is not your problem. Sit that man down and talk to the man. Instead of you spending this amount of money to pay a lawyer, no. Let's sit down and talk about the interests of these kids, okay? My kids and your kids that you left behind. Because all these are part of your family right now. It's going to be one family and no division. That's what an intellectual woman will do. But just a regular chick, no. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to take care of your child, because that would be like pulling out of your pocket something that's supposed to go for your kids, which is, like I said, it's a very selfish man. It's high time women start thinking. Start thinking, okay? Start thinking. Stop being guys, like I said, that's the difference between an intellectual woman and just a regular chick. I'm sick and tired of this division between women. What are we fighting for? What are we arguing for? Life is so short, so short, okay? You create all these dramas for yourself. You create all this stressful situation for yourself. You create all this sleepless night for yourself. You create all this lack of peace for yourself. All this for what? Nothing. Earthly stuff. Earthly. Something that we're going to go tomorrow to wherever I want to go to and leave behind. So why all the stress for? Why beating yourself for? It's not worth it, okay? Ladies, watch out and watch your sister's back, okay? Don't be an enemy to your sister's progress. Rather be a blessing to your sister. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the beginning of May.